Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the big one. It is the United East Conference men's basketball quarterfinal. Brandywine and Keystone play today. Brandywine with a chance to move on to the semis, where they will be facing, for sure, Cairn. They just won this morning. This is Hunter Strafacci live on the ball, Brandywine Athletics Live. Thanks for joining us. And here today, I'm with Mehki Winfrey. Mehki, it's an exciting night at Penn State Brandywine.
Me and you were talking about it. My apologies there. Yeah, me and you were talking about it before we got on the air here. It's one of the biggest games, if not the biggest game in this program's history. So them being able to take a W or just even be in this position is quite impressive for their standards.
Yeah, well, not too many would have guessed that Brandywine would be here in the quarters now, and not many would have guessed that they would be against the low seed in the tournament, the 10-seed Keystone. They upset St. Mary's earlier in the week, and Brandywine have to play Keystone again. And Mehki, you mentioned it before the broadcast, exactly a month to the day the last time these two met, when Penn State Brandywine won.
Yeah, January 21st, it was when they played last. It was Penn State Brandywine that got the head 95-82. If my math serves me correct, it's about a 13-point win. So Penn State Brandywine looks to replicate that exactly a month later.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty even game on the stat sheet, but on the hardwood, Brandywine were by far the better side against Keystone last time out. We're going to go down to the floor for the anthem, and then we'll be back for the lineups. All right, we're back here after the anthem. The Giants name a pretty consistent lineup. It's very similar to the one that we saw a month ago. Golding, Ayers, Jones, Thomas, and Murphy make up the starting five. Penn State Brandywine have named the same five for their last 4 games. Javon Nelson gets the start alongside Amari Little, Deuce Holland, Jabri White, and Jaden Fogg. Well, Mehki, we're going to spotlight a couple players now. We're going to first go for KC's number 1, Jaden Golding. He has been their best player this season. He is their leading scorer. And if he is to have a good game tonight, his team definitely stands a chance as far as an upset is concerned.
Yeah, Golding in his last time out against Penn State Brandywine was able to score a whopping 24 points. So obviously he knows how to get to the rim against our defense. But it's going to be about him being able to get his teammates involved as well. They're obviously going to need to rely on him because he's their best player. But it is going to be a group effort because clearly 24 points was not enough the last time.
Well, we could spotlight this guy almost every single game. Deuce Holland for Penn State Brandywine. What a season he's had since transferring in from Notre Dame, Maryland. He is the primary scorer for this team, elite shot maker. He has been the best scorer out of that core for Mehki.
Yeah, obviously he has the most points a game. He also has the most rebounds a game, so he's obviously been all over the court. He's been, I'd like to say for short, a ball hog. Not necessarily in the sense that he's hurting his team, but he just knows how to handle the rock, and he's been really solid all year. Been having a kind of quiet year, but not quiet in the way that it's not been productive. Just quiet because we have not covered it to its fullest extent.
Well, he, Fogg, White, Little, the scoring core four, now entering playoff basketball for the first time together in what is, again, Brandywine's biggest game in the near 60-year history of the program. They enter the quarterfinal tonight on a 7-game winning streak, the longest in the NCAA era. It's a great time to be Penn State Brandywine. They are at the peak of their powers, and they're ready to book their spot in the semis.
I kept one stat from you before we went on air. That 7-game winning streak started here against Keystone.
Perfect. Full circle. Hopefully Penn State Brandywine can beat Keystone again for the second time in the same season. Never an easy thing to do. Keystone will have learned from that game, and we'll see how they adjust here today. And they'll control the tip. Well, definitely the underdogs here today, Keystone, but they do have a defined 3-man scoring core of Golding as a 3 falls, Jones, and Murphy. And I think that's Murphy who gets off the mark here.
Yeah, Murphy, he's also been one of their top scorers, especially as of recently. So he'll be a person we have to keep an eye on as well, like I mentioned.
Well, they've definitely stunned Brandywine early with that 3. The Lions have had some elite perimeter defense this season. They've got one of the lowest 3-point percentages against in the conference. Keystone are here to play, there's no doubt. White, doubled, kicked out, it's Little. Feeds Deuce, didn't get a good touch on it, and as a result misses the opportunity.
Looked like it slipped a little bit off his right hand there, somewhere on the right side of his body, just couldn't fully plant. Shot that one a little bit too far.
Well, when he gets going, Deuce Holland, he's got the second most made threes per game with 2.5. A man who he may face off in the semis, Corey Baldwin of Cairn, he leads with 3.5. Pretty staggering outlier there. There he is, Deuce in the corner. And Deuce scores the 3.
The big key to winning the last game that I noticed when looking at the results, it was about the 3-pointer difference. Keystone was not able to nail even 30% just about of their 3-pointers. Brandywine, much farther up on that region.
Well, there's a lot about this game that's different, of course, the playoff feel, but one of the big differences is going to be the media timeout rule we're going to be observing in preparation for the national tournament. Every 4 minutes, I believe, after 18, there will be a required 1-minute timeout. And we know Coach Burke loves to take an early time. He's only got 4 today to work with, so we'll see how that affects the game. KC put up another 3. Just 3 so far we've been treated to here in the quarters. It's got a big game feel, and they're showing out here. There's Fogg powering it and missing.
Just wasn't able to get that one to go up and right through. Kind of an unlucky shot there.
Thought about it in the corner, did Jaden Golding. It's kicked inside then for Thomas, who waits and scores. And that's our first timeout, Mehki.
Nice and quick. Just like you said, we love to use these timeouts, especially in men's basketball. Take time and reassess.
Well, we've been talking about it. We might as well sum it up. Last time these two played, Brandywine defended its home floor with a 95-82 win over Keystone in a fast-paced United East Conference matchup. The Lions shot over 52% from the field and from 3, using efficient perimeter scoring and second-chance opportunities to build separation in the second half. Little led the way with 27 points, knocking down 5 threes, while White added 25 points and 9 boards in an all-around performance. Gadanya had a good appearance from the bench with 12 points, and Fogg impacted the game on the glass as a facilitator. For Keystone, Jaden Golding paced the Giants with 24 points and 8 boards. Jones added 19, and Scott Murphy each provided 14. They're going to need, Mehki, a similar performance tonight if they hope to upset Brandywine. The formula likely requires 20-plus from Golding and 1 of James/Murphy joining him in double-digit efficiency while controlling the tempo throughout.
Most notably in that statistic, though, not a single one of them was having double-digit boards.
Nelson, strength on display, but he's nearly quadrupled in the paint, and then the ball's out of play.
There's a lot of energy on the court right now, I've noticed, Hunter. The start of a playoff game, a lot of animosity, a lot of just high-octane just play going on, allowing for some mistakes that maybe you won't see as this game gets deeper into it.
Every single second spent together since Coach Burke's hiring 3 seasons ago has led up to this one moment. The team is looking a little excited, and you can't really blame them.
No, playing as the 2 seed in Division III, doesn't matter the conference, that is quite the feat.
Better team so far has been KC, as Jones looks to bring it home, feeds Golding, and Golding will pull up for 2.
The one thing that they can't afford, though, and we've talked about this extensively at times in this season, is they can't afford to go down a lot early. You don't want to take yourselves mentally out of it before you're physically out of it.
There's Brian Warren. They want the whistle. They're not going to get it, and Warren will just about miss.
Just an unlucky roll right there. It seemed like that one actually might have went in for a split second, but not to be.
Ayers, he's their playmaker, but he can't make the play there. It's well read by Deuce Allen. A couple of big men checking in, Bass and Fogg. Swider's out there too, 6'6", all three of them or taller. That's something that Coach Burke spoke with me about to start this season. He said he wanted to add size to this team. They felt small. They felt underpowered in conference games. Not this season, though.
No, they got a lot of bigger players, and it's not bigger players who can't shoot or do anything with the rock. They're very capable players who can move the ball around, take threes, I've seen even. So very big assets to add to this team.
No doubt about it. Back underway. Amadrian Jones, the junior, 6'1", giving Warren the eyes. 4 seconds left in the shot clock. Looking for the pass. It's good defense for Brandywine, and they get the stop.
Brandywine here doing a good job so far, trying to limit the amount of inside points.
Swider into Fogg. Warren on the perimeter, looking to dart inside. 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Back to Fogg. Around the arc for Swider. In the corner for Deuce. Touch and shoot. Looks like he stepped out of play before the ball was released.
What made the difference is the shot was just a little bit too high arced and it rolled off the back end of the rim.
It's been a pretty good season for Camden Ayers, not always scoring, but often pulling the strings as their primary facilitator. He actually leads the conference with most steals per game at 2.2 and the second most assists per game as well. He is a guy who can definitely generate you extra possessions, and as the underdog, he may have a huge role to play today.
Yeah, it's all about getting people who you may not expect to have a huge impact on the game, a huge impact, especially when you're playing as the underdog. You want to get those people who maybe aren't as watched, as scouted on in these games, because you can catch Brandywine by surprise.
Well, that's our first official media timeout. The timeout earlier was from Coach Burke, and I want to spotlight for a second here this Keystone group. You can see them there on the screen. Their keys tonight, they've got to dictate pace, and Golding is going to be a big reason as to why they do that. Ayers must limit turnovers. He does tend to lose the ball a lot and create good looks. They got to win that rebounding margin. It's something that they have done on average this season by 1 rebound per game. And perimeter efficiency has to fly way above season averages, Mehki. They're only shooting 30% from downtown, and in the quarters, that's not going to be good enough.
Yeah, no, I mean, I talked about it a moment ago. I mean, the reason that Brandywine won the game, at least one part of the reason, is because of their three-point shooting. Keystone just not able to shoot it from beyond the arc has really been kind of hurting them. Their Achilles heel is why they are below 500, part of it at least, this season. If they can play a little bit more outside and keep facilitating the ball, even if they have to take the inside EC2 every once in a while, just taking the opportunity when it presents itself.
Well, the baseball team is in the house here in the Lions' Den. They're fresh off a big win, doubleheader from today, 19-2 combined score. Rookie catcher Will Collison came up with 7 RBIs combined in those 2 games while catching, I think, 7 different pitchers.
Quite the feat, quite a stat.
Felt bad for Lehman watching that one, that's for sure. I was live on the ball with Matt Brown, who's recently joined the lineup on the broadcast. Back to this game. OTP, it's going to be Ben Bass looking for it, but he's quintupled in the paint, and it's back with the Blues. So far, they've done that well, Mehki. They've swarmed Brandywine inside. No nonsense.
Yeah, I was going to say, the one thing that I've noticed so far is Keystone is really not allowing one-on-one coverage. They don't want to have those mismatches. They have been sending 2, 3, even occasionally like you saw 4 guys.
Possession arrow in favor of Penn State Brandywine. They will retain as Coach Burke checks in Johnson and Jabri White. Well, nobody more efficient than Jabri in league play. Production increases from about 11 points per game to 11.8 points per game in the conference. Shooting 54% from the field, and he steps back for a 3 time to great effect, shooting 42% from downtown, although the volume is quite low.
Doesn't always need to be very high. I mean, Jabri is a high percentage shooter. That's what he does well. You see little.
Just about short of the shot.
White is not afraid to shoot the ball when he needs to, and he's very efficient at it.
Such a smart player as well. He rarely forces attempts. Always looking for quality over quantity. There's a 3 from Keystone. They've shot that 3 well, but they missed that occasion. It's PJ Murphy wide of the mark. Swider inside for Johnson. Brandywine only with 3 points on the board. Now 5.
You have to wonder if that missed three is going to finally start to swing the momentum. You see, when people start to nail threes, it kind of shifts it one way, but missing one can send it the other.
Well, Brandywine definitely got a few energy guys out there. Swider and Jabri can change the momentum of the game. Jabri White, of course, can change the momentum with one bucket, and he'll finish and hit the line.
That's exactly proven right there. You said it and it happened. He just has such an impact. He just draws. I don't know if it's just because of how he plays, because of his shooting, but he just draws players to him, and it kind of creates opportunities for sometimes his teammates, but in that opportunity, saw time down court, took it.
And they'll hope that can buoy them as far as momentum is concerned. A lot of the times it is him with a dunk, but it's him with a three-point play instead. Brandywine within 2. 14:09 left in the first half here in the United East Conference quarterfinals. Arguably the biggest game in the history of this program, the near 60-year history of this program. And they have been so good at protecting the home floor this season. They closed out the regular season playing their best basketball of the year with that win over St. Mary's, who thought they'd be facing in the quarters today. But good for Keystone. They upset the Seahawks, and they've booked their spot here.
Yeah, Keystone, I mean, worth mentioning, they lost to St. Mary's early in the season, in the regular season, when I guess you could theoretically say it didn't matter, but when it mattered, playoff time came around and Keystone was ready.
There's P.J. Murphy getting the better of Swider on defense there, and then for the putback, he'll miss his chance.
Brandywine quickly moves the ball down court.
Swider, short of the shot. Baseball team on their feet. This is starting to open up here. I don't think that a fast pace really suits Penn State Brandywine either. Trying to steal it away here. Still on the Blues. On the floor now is Swider, who calls time.
You hear it erupt in this stadium.
Well, Coach Burke's going to have to really think about the remainder of his timeouts. He's already used half of his total for the whole game, and we've only played about 8 minutes. We'll take a quick break here, Mehki. Well, 8 minutes gone. Half of Burke's 4 timeouts have also evaporated. Brandywine are within 2, and they've kept Keystone relatively quiet the last 10 possessions, something like that.
10 possessions is a lot in basketball. I'll chop it down to about 3 minutes for you.
Back with Murphy. He's been the live wire for this Keystone team to start this game. 6 points, but facilitating so well. And he's so quick on the ball as well. Spinning away from Gadanya, feeding Golding from the stripe. It'll rim out.
A lot of what I've noticed from Murphy this season, especially at least from what I can see, is that he just has quite the handle on the basketball. He makes it move where he needs it to, which is quite an ability that people like to develop.
Swider cans it.
That three-pointer is another thing he'd like to develop. Swider puts him in the lead.
First lead for Penn State Brandywine in the semifinals. Keystone need a reply here. It's a very even start to this game, though. There's Golding. Baseline pass. Inserted into the paint where the bodies hit the floor, and White eventually feeds it to Murphy. Corner 3. Scott drops it. Wow, they're shooting that 3-ball pretty well. We weren't expecting this.
No, this was not in the reports before the game. Didn't expect it at all, but Keystone has come to surprise everybody this tournament. They've done a good job so far. How will Brandywine adapt?
Little. They'll adapt with a missed 3 of their own. Well, perhaps, Mehki, they scouted Keystone like we did and saw, all right, well, they don't really shoot that 3. We're going to let them have some space. Keystone are punishing them for that. You never really want to adjust your game plan mid-game either.
No, it's not easy. It's not easy to do that. Not an easy task at all. Obviously, it's a close game so far, though.
Top of the key, Jones Short of the shot, and it's rebounded just about by first-year Isaiah Johnson.
We talked about the fast pace of this game. For anyone, as you've noticed right here, the last couple of possessions started to slow it down. They want to play their own game, and that's what's going to get them the victory.
Yeah, I think that is the key for the Lions. They don't like that fast pace. They are a defense-first team. They look for quality looks, and they won't find them if they're playing too fast. Game is tied up at 13s, and the crowd is here. Thank goodness, because we were talking about the atmosphere. We were thinking, oh, man, what's going on? It's playoff basketball. But they've showed up tonight, the crowd. And if you're at home and you're watching this, come on, get down here, man.
You could be 20 minutes or 20 hours.
I'll give you a crisp high five if you come to this game. Scott, again, tries to float it, misses, and his opposite number 13, Amar Gadanya, rescues the rebound. Little, waiting for reinforcements to arrive in place, feeds Jack Swider. A lot of high usage minutes for Swider so far in this playoff game. Gadanya, 3, scores!
Gadanya is, if there is any word to describe him, it is spontaneous, because he all of a sudden will click off 3 threes in a row. Next thing you know, Penn State Brandywine will be up like 7 points.
Yeah, he's been a streak shooter this entire season, but to your point, he has swung momentum with 2 to 3 quick threes time and time again this campaign. Whistle goes, and is this going to be another media timeout? Looks like it is. Oh, we're all adjusting to this sort of deal here, but it's playoff basketball, and I guess it's sort of exciting in a way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like it in a way, in one way. It does allow anyone who's kind of watching, it allows them to kind of digest what just happened. I mean, especially in a moment like that. Gadanya nails a big 3, gives them back up to the lead. They puts them in position now where they have control of this game with about halfway through this first half.
Well, this season, the Lions have really turned up the temperature in the conference. Deuce Holland, one of the only players who hasn't in UEC play, but the spotlight for sure is on Jabri White, Amari Little, and Brian Warren. All 3 of those guys averaging at least 1 extra point per game in conference play, with Brian Warren averaging just about 2. These are big game players, Mehki. They rise to the occasion, and tonight, this is the biggest game they've ever played.
I will say something that I don't think we have mentioned. You gotta remember, there's a couple seniors on this team too. This is in some way one of their last chances to really go and play some basketball at this high competitive level. So you want to take this opportunity. You want to go as far as you can with it. It's an important game for that too, especially when you look at the guys like Amari Little, Jaden Fogg, these seniors on this team.
Well, we're back here, and we're going to be on the stripe to return to the game. Amadrian Jones, the shooter, he started every single game this season for Coach Stern and company, and he finishes off his first foul throw. 75% shooter just about on the season from the charity line. The whole team shooting 66.7%, which they may regret come the end of this game if they need a late game finish. There is Gadanya. Big Jaden Fogg, the senior, kicks it to the corner. Deuce Holland, touch and shoot, knocks it down.
That's where Holland has been so special this season, at least for my eye test. He just really is able to catch the ball, take quick shots, and usually he's pretty efficient with it. It's an ability that you can't teach.
He hardly needs a second on that ball, that's for sure. His old team, Notre Dame University of Maryland, I think they're also in the semifinals. It might come down to he against his old crew in the final. We never know.
Quite the motivator, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, they let him go, and he has been one of the best players in the conference this season. They're probably regretting that at this stage. We'll see. Anyways, it's 19-15. From scoring a 3 to grabbing a board, Deuce Holland is starring the last couple of plays. Gadanya, kick to the corner. It's Warren, back to Nelson. Shifting through the bodies and floating it in.
I just want to mention right there, that was a great bucket, but I want to mention Coach Burke on the sideline. He was vocal to his team right there. That's what not having that timeout does, though. When you start using them early, you're not going to have them late. So he's trying to save them, and he's just reaching his vocal cords across the sideline.
Golding back to the net. Jones is fed, and Jones mishandles the dribble, but it's off a white shirt and out of play.
I think it's... Oh, go ahead.
No, that's all you.
I was going to say, I think it's quite interesting here. The Tide was going Keystone's way. They were up by about 8 points, and all of a sudden, don't look now, Brandywine's got a 6-point lead. It will take multiple buckets for Keystone.
I think they definitely caught Brandywine by surprise with that early 3-ball, Mehki. I think Brandywine were ready to defend that shot, but since then they've adjusted, and since then they've taken firm control of this game.
Basketball is a sport of adjusting. Like most sports, you kind of got to move on the fly, but basketball especially is really difficult because the reason adjusting is difficult in basketball, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Basketball just has this ability where you're just moving and you have to think on the fly. Football, there's a stop and play every time guaranteed. Hockey, there could be a stop. Baseball, there's always a stop. They don't have that in basketball necessarily.
Yeah, adjust on the fly. And it's something that you got to say Coach Burke is very good at, very adaptable.
Again, and if he sees something he doesn't like, he is not afraid to tell his team that he has to change it up.
And he'll tell them right to their face, even if they don't want to hear it. Tough love, but the best coaches are often the toughest lovers.
I agree. And he's really helped this team. You can see it works as he's turned this team around.
Scott, back to Murphy. Still leads the team with 6 points, does Murphy. Kicks it all the way out. Ayers then shifts it around the arc, and the 3 will be missed. What a leap there from Jaden Fogg.
That is quite athletic. I mentioned it a minute ago. These aren't just big guys. They can move, and Fogg proves it right there.
Back to the facilitators in Little and Warren. Fogg is found inside and then mishandles the ball.
Looked like he was going for his favorite spot, I always like to call it. Right around the outside, just inside the paint, but on the outside of the rim. But wasn't able to sink it through and get the shot up.
Well, it's another timeout, Mehki, and you know what? I think we'll take a timeout too. All right, we're back here on the floor. Penn State Brandywine up 21-15. We've seen a lot of points in clusters, Mehki, but it's not been a high-scoring occasion at all.
And it doesn't always need to be, especially for Penn State Brandywine. They're not a team that's afraid to play a slugfest. But Keystone, they score a lot of points compared to Brandywine. They actually score more on average, but they allow a lot more on average.
Another corner 3 from Deuce Holland. And that is why we spoke about him before this game. He is the weapon for this Brandywine team. 9 points.
It's like a silent killer out there. He just quickly takes that 3 and shoots it.
I mean, you literally cannot give that guy a centimeter on the perimeter. He'll punish you. Finish and foul called. Good play from a Keystone point of view as they look to inch ever closer.
With Holland, it's quite impressive because if he has any sort of separation or space, he is not afraid to capitalize on. And I'd say he's one of the best, not just in Brandywine, but on the conference entirely at just taking advantage of space given to him.
Yeah, since his debut against Cairn with 27 points, he's failed to reach double digits just 4 times since in Brandywine colors. It's been a pretty remarkable sophomore season for Deuce Holland, who rises for the rebound there after the missed free throw.
Remember, he had double-digit boards last time he played against Keystone.
White wanted the whistle, is not going to get it. It's going to be Jaden Golding in possession. Trying to cross up Little here. Uses Murphy for support, and from the elbow, he'll miss.
A couple of just jumping hands right there, nothing more than that. So send that one out of bounds. Brandywine's got a pretty solid lead to play with right now, though.
The only issue that you can foresee for Penn State Brandywine in the postseason is injury or foul trouble. About 75% of the offense is concentrated among 5 and 6 players. We saw them in the final game of the season really struggle. Deuce Holland for 3, really struggle against St. Mary's when their 2 top scorers got into foul trouble. They'll hope to keep them on the floor tonight. They need to keep them on the floor tonight. There's Little for 3. Oh, back-to-back misses for the Lions.
I know the whistle just got blown there. I just want to call out Jabri White, at least on the first rebound, had, I think, one of the most athletic jumps for a rebound I've ever seen live. That was quite impressive. He got all the way up there, but ended up not working out.
Another transfer who's just been so reliable for Coach Burke, reliable two-way wing presence. And I think what's gone under the radar with White is his ability in the late stages of games. He is the definition of a clutch player.
And especially in a playoff game, that's something that's necessary. You want to keep him on the court as much as possible at the end of these halves, the end of these quarters, because he knows how to hit these shots. It's proven that he can do it.
Well, the Giants without score for a little while now, but they'll shut me right up with the 3 to make it 24-17. 24-20, excuse me.
It's been quite the three-pointer game, I have noticed. There has been very minimal 2s taken. It is about flying the ball out.
Yeah, 4 3s scored for Keystone, 5 3s scored for Penn State Brandywine. More than half of the total shots made for both teams. 5 minutes, 37 seconds left in the first half here in the United East Conference men's basketball quarterfinal between Penn State Brandywine and Keystone. Not like Warren to have his pocket pick. Normally he's the smooth criminal, but Jaden Golding will step into the lane and score.
Shows why he's so deadly, why he's the player you got to guard, because when he gets the opportunity, he will make you guys miss and take those points when he gets them.
$1 million move, $1 million finish there from Keystone. They'll be happy about that steal and score. Warren looking to atone for the mistake, and he'll just about miss.
He has been very close to getting a couple of buckets here. If they roll a different direction, he's got 4 instead of, or excuse me. Yeah, he's got 4 instead of none. I was correct on that. So, just unlucky in his regard.
Nelson commits Penn State Brandywine's 5th foul. And Coach Burke checks in the entirety of the core 4. White, Little, Fogg, Holland. Scary group of guys to watch check into a game.
Watching them all at the same time was a little terrifying.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention real quick as well, you take away the three-pointers this game is a 10-9 game.
And again, that's not really what we were expecting from Keystone at all. They've risen their game in the playoffs, no doubt about it.
But have they sacrificed the layup? That's the only question I have.
And so far, they're within kissing distance now. 24-22, they won't mind. Little trying to slow some of the game down. Screen set by Deuce Holland. Fed is White. And White goes down after drawing contact.
Ball falls right into his lap, too. Tried to go around the 2 defenders right there. He tried to go behind the back. That one got kind of caught up as a result of that.
Oh, White with a brief cameo there. Checks out for Ben Bass. The big Brazilian wearing the number 34. Transferred in from Centennial Conference School, Washington College, in January of last season alongside Jack Swider. Those 2 guys have been teammates now for 3 seasons at 2 different schools.
A lot of size out on that court again.
Yeah. Inbounded to Little. Ben Bass misses. Well, we've seen him make them from the top of the key. Can't blame him for taking that shot.
I believe he's 4 for 10 on the season, if my numbers are correct.
His defense on the other end then forces a miss from Keystone.
So, I mean, Brandywine and Keystone have both shown they're not afraid to shoot the 3. The only question is which one will make it more. At the moment, it's Brandywine.
Murphy up against Ben Bass. Steps back, takes the three, and scores. It's a beautiful bucket from B.J. Murphy. Can't hate on that.
Yeah, Murphy's been kind of their player so far tonight. He's been kind of all over the court.
It's not great news for Penn State Brandywine. Again, the recipe to an upset is going to be 20-plus from Golding and one of James or Murphy to join him in double-digit efficiency. So far, if Golding can catch up, they have an upset on their hands here.
Maybe Murphy goes on a run of his own and gets 20.
Deuce misses.
I thought that one was going in for a second.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Tad bit to the left, it looks like.
Murphy tries to add to his 9 points, but can't come up with the goods.
That one squiggled on out, and then out of bounds it went.
Oh, we've been talking a lot about Keystone being the giant killers in the postseason. They just booked their spot in this game with an 80-71 win over St. Mary's behind a dominant all-around effort from Golding, who poured in 29 points and added 5 steals while playing all 40 minutes. Jones delivered 22 points, including a momentum-swinging dunk just before halftime, and Ayers controlled tempo with steady playmaking. Thomas provided interior strength, and the Giants scored 31 points off turnovers, using defensive pressure to secure the road win and set up the matchup with Penn State Brandywine.
I think you, I don't remember what the saying is, but I think you used a oxymoron there. I think it's the right thing. Use the giant killers. They are the Giants.
They are the Giants.
No, yeah, Keystone really, they earned their way here. This wasn't like they played a team that was kind of letting them roll over. No, Keystone went into their building and they took care of business like they needed to. Golding dropping 29. In the college level in D3, that is a huge feat, dropping 29 points, or at any game for that matter of fact. So if they have to rely on him, they're going to do it. And he's shown that he's capable of taking that burden.
Well, he does have the 5th most points per game in the conference with 17 on average. He's got 4 right now, but he's got plenty of time to erupt and have his impact. And look at that hometown crowd.
Yeah, no, pretty full on both sides, at least comparison-wise. So Keystone trying to get all the support they can out here for a big upset if they can pull it off.
They lead by 1 point out of the timeout, the ball handler being Little. Over the top, White, backdoor, great bucket.
That's where Jabri White's so special. He's just able to kind of reach over and has such long arms. He can just grab the ball from pretty much anywhere. And it's so efficient with the scoring.
Murphy steps back, tries to bank it in, misses, rebounded by Deuce Holland. Little spins away from danger. Back with Jabri White. Steps into the lane and wins the whistle.
He was going to take the easy 2 right there. They weren't going to let it happen for free, so instead he's going to go to the line for it.
Well, they've played a pretty clean game so far. Keystone just 4 fouls, only 1 foul throw given up. I think it was Jabri White to make it. Yep, it was earlier in the game.
Clean game's a way to win games.
Well, as good as he's been from the field, he's not been that good from the stripe, shooting just 65% on the season.
Presumably that would mean he makes the second one. But we'll see if that is to be true.
Two-point game. Keystone call time. Lots of breaks in this game. Momentum yet to really be established by either side as a result, and we will be right back. Back from another media timeout. 3 minutes left in the first half. Penn State Brandywine lead by 2 points.
That is the last guaranteed timeout.
Yeah, right? I think it is.
It is the last guaranteed timeout.
Well, he wanted to use one in the first half, that's for sure. Coach Stern. Good defense from White. And it's going to be a foul in the corner?
I think so.
Well, he's got 2 fouls. We saw him foul out against St. Mary's. They had a nervy close to that game without, I think, 3 of their top 4 scorers. Fogg, Deuce, and White all fouled out. Little remained. Wasn't an easy end, and they'll hope to keep their guys on the floor today.
You don't want to lose a player to fouls, especially before you even hit the 2 minutes left in this game. You never know how close playoff games will be.
Murphy will hit the line. Well, in many ways, Mehki, nobody's been better out there today than PJ Murphy, even on the Brandywine side of things. Shooting 3 for 11, but 3 for 6 from downtown for 9 total points, which matches Deuce Holland's record as well.
Yeah, no, Murphy's kind of just been all over the court. It's not just about his point scoring. His presence has been the most felt. I mean, we talk about Golden before the game, of course. He's been their top scorer generally, but Murphy's been really good. He's been getting rebounds. He's been facilitating the court. He's shot, he's got 9 points, the leading on the team. So Murphy's kind of done it all so far tonight.
Well, Murphy has been their biggest riser in conference play. Nearly a 1.5 bump in scoring and shooting is better from the line, too. Thomas has quietly become more efficient inside in league games as well, but we've not seen too much of him. They're number 10 so far.
Yeah, that one quiet little bucket earlier.
Well, they've got them in the bonus now, the Giants, with 2 minutes 20 on the clock. That could be an issue for Penn State Brandywine, but they'll look to keep it clean regardless. Touch and shoot, he wanted it, Deuce, but he's not going to get it. Gadanya will take it. The lefty misses.
Would have been quite the shot, and momentum swinger once again.
Jaden Golding, burst of pace. He'll feed the aforementioned Thomas. Looks for Murphy. He'll pull up. High arc, no score. Well, we spoke about it during the timeout, Mehki. The slow pace, the break and play as Warren takes the 3 and misses. Definitely suits the Brandywine Lions.
It's quite interesting that we always mention that they play this slower pace, and it seems to work out as the ball is fumbled around there. And it's gonna go our way. But I was gonna mention how the slower pace works out. I always like to talk about Warren though, because Warren has that just ability to explode off of the ball. He catches it and he just can dart down the court. I feel like if they can capitalize on that, catch them while they're kind of lacking on their feet, they could maybe get Warren a couple of buckets just by sending him around the outside. So they get this one to inbound here.
Fogg, there's the drive.
That's where he's so good, right on the left side. I always like to call it the Fogg spot.
Gonna miss him next season, that's for sure.
A big presence.
Yeah. Well, Brandywine have a 3-point lead. It's a beautiful baseline pass, but he stepped out. $1 million move, 10-cent finish.
It's my favorite saying that you use.
I stole that from Dylan Jones, and hopefully Dylan stole that from somebody else.
Yeah, say.
If that's a Dylan Jones original, though, I do apologize. He gets $1 every time I say it on the broadcast. We have a deal.
So it's about $5 in the last 5 games.
Yeah. Gadanya's pass is cut out by Tyler Ditton. Man hits the deck and slides about 10 yards.
That one was rolling.
Yeah. Looked like Neymar Jr. after that contact.
Tyler Ditton's had a quiet night, but I would like to mention that for what it's worth, although they haven't gotten him quite involved in this regard yet, he is their leading 3-point shooter of consistent shooters from that line. People who have taken enough shots.
Yeah, good floor spacer off the bench. Plays a similar role to Jack Swider in that regard. He will watch his leading scorer of the season, Jaden Golding, take to the stripe.
Less than a minute.
70% shooter puts away the first.
It's quite the interesting 1A, 1B matchup if you think about it between Holland and Golding. Golding has a little bit higher of highs than Holland does, but Holland is a very consistent scorer, always in that about 10 to 15, occasionally 18-point range.
2 taken and 2 made. Casey within 1. 55 seconds left on the clock as Gadanya inserts, and then it's going to be a variation on a theme as he does it again. Well, he's only got 3 points, Gadanya, but you feel like his fingerprints have been all over this game.
Especially in the latter half of this first half. He's just kind of been everywhere. I mean, I talked about it a moment ago with Murphy, how he's been kind of everywhere. Gadanya, when on offense especially, he just knows where to put the ball, knows where to be. I know he had that one intercepted pass to Fogg, but otherwise it's been a pretty clean game from him.
Yeah, and going forward, he's such a magnet. He sucks defenders towards him. He leaves space inside for big men like Jaden Fogg.
Did it right there to a T.
Corner, Holland. Well, you normally expect him to shoot, but the pass was a little wonky for him. There's Gadanya who knocks it down.
Streaky shooter, but he takes it when it matters. We talked about the momentum he's been bringing this team, and he does it right there again.
Half a minute left, 32-28, and again, it's a big momentum shifter from the first year. You love to see first years like that get minutes and have their true impact in the playoffs. He's ready for this level. Top of the key. Looked like a good shot for a second.
Humongous shot.
Yeah,
that one had
nuts.
so much air on it. I think a 747 doesn't go that high. No shot is required here.
There's Little. He'll go. He'll miss. And that'll be all she wrote in the first half. Penn State Brandywine played pretty good, but it's a close one, Mehki.
Yeah, no. Keystone keeping it close. They're not allowing them to get away with it like we thought they maybe would. Keystone's going to keep it a close game, but Brandywine's still in control.
Now, if you're watching at home, we're going to have to refresh the stream. I'm hearing that the audio is ahead of the video, which shouldn't be possible. But we're going to shut down, and we're going to come back live in about 2 minutes. So re-click, refresh. Don't go anywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the ball. Brandywine Athletics live for the second half of this very special United East Conference quarterfinal. Hunter Strafacci alongside Mehki Winfrey. And Mehki, why don't you talk us through a little bit about the first half?
Yeah, I mean, it was a game. It was kind of back and forth. We saw a lot of Keystone early. We saw a lot of Brandywine through the middle. Keystone kind of tried to come back late. Brandywine wasn't going to allow it to happen, though, as they still have the lead. Kind of notably within that, though, I want to mention, you look at the shooting percentages; they're about the same. Nothing that different. What really stands out to me, though, is the assists. And I know that seems like a basic stat, like, oh, Amari Little has 5 assists on the night so far. But what's really important about that to me is that tells me that this Brandywine team is able to pass the ball and quickly shoot. It isn't relying on someone to take it all the way down court and then space it out. And a lot of time, it's just quick shots. They get one person to get the ball out, quick shot. A Little, in being the facilitator that he is, that's really what's made that impact on that side. As it comes to Keystone, though, the one big thing I've noticed is that when all of their players except for one and their key player and their their player that is in the plus, and what this means by I'll explain in a second, but the player in the plus being Mr. Ayers, he's +2. Every other player that's when they're on the court, that means they are losing. They are losing. So if they're -6, that means they are losing by 6 points when they're on the court. So Ayers being +2 means that when he's on the court, they're winning.
Well, and how good was this man who kicks us off here in the second half? PJ Murphy had such a great first half of basketball.
Yeah, I mean, he led the team in points. He had double digits. He's into double digits, I should say. And he's just kind of been everywhere when it comes to that. He's been getting a lot of boards, as you see a shot go good right there. But had a lot of boards, had a lot of points.
And Brandywine's big bench boost, no doubt, has been Amar Gadanya. 6 points in 8 minutes, a couple of threes, and 3 boards as well. And we spoke a little bit about it, Mehki. He's really broken up play on the defensive end, too.
Yeah, what he's really been solid at is kind of just stopping momentum and starting it for his team. That's just kind of been his specialty, especially all season. But in this game, it is shown prevalent, as that is, I believe, Little's, I'm fact-checking this one here, but I believe that's his 6th missed three-pointer. 5th missed, excuse me.
Regardless, 5 or 6, not like him to miss at that volume. He's got no points so far, but he does have those 5 assists. He's stitching things together.
Yep, been the facilitator they needed him to be.
Here's Golding, looking for a big second frame, definitely. PJ Murphy takes the 3, and from downtown he finishes off the opportunity.
Murphy has not hesitated. He is taking these balls, and he has just shot it quick. He's not waiting.
Game leader, 13 points, 4 more than number 2, which is, of course, Deuce Holland on 9. Here he is on the ball. Jabri White kicks it to the corner. It's Swider's shot, and it's a little loose. No score.
White tried to get underneath it there.
Golding. Nearly a mishandled ball, but in the end, it's going to be a miss in general for the visiting team. Well, Golding had a 6-point first half. He definitely needs to arrive at double figures if they are to post the upset here. Nelson misses. Doesn't look like anybody wants to score to start this half.
That was almost a calamity at midcourt. Dive for the ball to try and get it, and everybody gets up okay.
Well, good to see it, but Jack Swider still penalized as 3 pretty significant players in this game check in, Fogg, Warren, and Gadanya.
He took a leap of faith for that one, I will say.
Well, you got to respect it. He's putting his body on the line, and this is a game that means a whole lot to Jack Swider and the whole team. Well, this game brought to you by VisitDelcoPA.com. For hotels, points of interest, restaurants around campus, visit VisitDelcoPA.com.
Anyone did a good job right there, getting their hands up, getting that block, not allowing the points to go the other way.
Fogg spins into the lane, and the whistle will go. Fogg will hit the stripe.
Talk about quiet nights. Jaden Fogg's had kind of one, too. He had that one bucket early, but other than that, he has been kind of, at least when it comes to scoring, on the silent side, which is not like him when these big games come arise.
We'll have an opportunity to add to his tally. An opportunity to double his tally at that. Well, he won't double it.
Yeah, the crowd getting a little vocal.
Well, you can always rely on the baseball team to put you off on the stripe. I don't know why they're
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it'd be useful the other way around.
I think they're a little confused out there at the baseball team. They've had a long day, doubleheader at the Maple Zone. It takes a lot out of you. Start seeing things when you're at the Maple Zone for that long.
They're so locked in.
Jones does well to latch onto the pass. Ayers with a drive. Back to Jones from the stripe. He'll miss. Dead iron. And it's back with Brandywine.
A little too much power on that shot there. It bounced off the back end.
Beautiful play from Deuce Holland.
He ran right past basically every defender on the court right there. Got that to the bucket. He wants double digits, which he gets.
And sometimes when that man is on the ball, you just got to shut up and watch.
Sting of beauty.
There's Golding. Pulls up and scores. Tie game.
This game within the last just minute has, I think we've seen 3 straight buckets, so pace picking up.
Well, it's a tight one, but the longer it goes at this margin, you feel the better off Brandywine are. They are a late game finishing team with Little's ability at the line and White's efficiency as well. But they don't want to have to call upon those late skills in the conference. Beautiful reverse layup there from Jaden Golding to put them up.
Yeah, you don't want to rely on that for multiple reasons, but I think the main one being that the timeouts. You don't want to rely on stoppage of play to then have to start back up your momentum again.
Jaden Fogg, no way through. Tries to power it home and eventually wins the whistle.
Just saw him at the line. He made one of his 2. We'll see if he can do one better.
Well, it's bread and butter for Jaden Fogg, drawing contact inside, hitting the stripe, but he's got to score a better clip. He's not got too many games left in his Penn State Brandywine career. Might as well go out on top from the stripe.
Yeah, this might be, depending on how this game goes, it might be his last, so you don't want it to be. Want to fight for one more.
He'll sink the first. He's got such a graceful shooting style from the stripe, considering he's 6'6".
Yeah, I know. He really just, he's got like a nice gentle touch on it almost. Yeah. It's kind of.
It's very nonchalant.
Yeah. It's a good word to describe it.
Yeah, he just puts enough on the ball.
It's just enough. Doesn't hear the rim, doesn't hear the backboard. Straight net.
Tie game yet again. Baseline pass to Golding. Short corner 2.
I don't think that played out how Gadanya thought it was going to. He put his hand in there and he was like, oh, this thing's going to go out of bounds. And I think he just realized Golding was right there, and then it was all she wrote.
Well, Golding had 6 points in the first half, and in the first 5 minutes of the second, he's added 8 points for 14 total to lead the game. Keeps it alive, but it's right to Warren. Swider knocks down the 3.
It's where he's so special. Big man can shoot. He has been very efficient at that all season.
Well, back to that Golding point, though. We spoke about it at length at the half. If they are to get something, they need their big man, as far as scoring is concerned, to really get off the mark, and he has started this second half better than anybody else out there on the floor.
The one thing, though, is Brandywine is not letting them get away. They are keeping up.
Off the window and in from Amar Gadanya.
This went from a defense game to an offense game real quick.
And you know, Mehki, I have a bone to pick with certain United East Conference fans. A lot on social media has been spoken of about Brandywine's depth. They've got a freshman in here right now with 8 points in the quarterfinals in the conference. If that doesn't speak depth, I don't know what does.
Yeah, and it's not like he's just a freshman on the team. I want to point out the depth of this team. Listen to all these players who have played at least portions of this game. Von Nelson, Brian Warren, Amari Little, Deuce Holland, Jabri White, Amar Gadanya, Jack Swider, Jaden Fogg have all been on the court. Isaiah Johnson as well, and Ben Bass I wanted to make sure I mention as well. So that's about, I think I just jotted off, I didn't count, but that's about 10 or 11 players. So there is depth on this team. There is a lot of players who can get to the rim, who can score, who can shoot out wide. It's just about putting it all together, which right now Brandywine is in the process of trying to do.
And look, on the stat sheet, I understand why people say that. Brandywine do have that core 4 with 10-plus points per game, but in the playoffs, points per game, it doesn't really matter. It's one game. Yeah, it's one game. Gadanya can come in and perform. He's done it. Warren can come in and perform. He's yet to find a point, but he's still had his fingerprints all over the game. This is playoff basketball, ladies and gentlemen. Anything can happen.
It's all about who can use the pressure as a weapon. So that's what I would say. As an athlete myself, it just comes down to being able to use pressure for you instead of against you. And Brandywine right now is trying to show that they can use it as good instead of bad.
Teams retake the floor, the score being 42-39 with just about 15 minutes left here in the quarterfinals. It's really flown by, even with these media timeouts. Some sort of controversy here. The fans are upset.
Something happened.
Fans calling for a tech here.
I think there was some physicality. I don't know where.
While the referees convene here, baseball team giving it to the Keystone players. Not a good place to have a stoppage if you're a Keystone man.
right by
the
end of the court.
Ayers is getting an earful from the baseball team.
This is another element. I want to take a moment to mention this. This is an element of being able to silence the crowd. Keystone has not been able to do that, which is a big reason why Brandywine has had this momentum boost.
Oh, somebody gets teed up. Ben Bass is in discussion with the referee as to exactly who and why and what and how. And I'm not too sure who that's going to go against either. Still waiting for the call from the scorekeeper's table.
No idea here either.
Well, regardless, Jaden Golding is on the stripe here. It's a team tech for Penn State Brandywine, according to the official stats here. And Golding has to settle for just one. Now, I'm not so sure exactly why, but I saw Godalnya try to enter, and then he was forced back, so maybe it was something like that. Although, sometimes in basketball, you don't really know exactly what you're watching.
I have no idea, quite honestly, what the cause of that was, but what I do know is the result.
Golding trying to drive. Slapped out of his hands by Ben Bass, but not cleanly enough. And there's your point in essence right there, Mehki, silencing the crowd. And all of a sudden, the traveling fans and traveling bench seem the happier of the two teams.
Yeah, I mean, the one advantage that Brandywine has by being the 2 seed, which is we haven't really talked about, is that they have this home court advantage. It's so important for the fans that are here to get as loud as they can in moments like now, because when you can create that noise that distracts a free throw shot, it goes your way. It typically does happen this way, and when you're playing with a lead, you want to do anything you can to keep it, so the crowd is another element they can use.
Well, he's a good shooter, Jaden Golding, but the crowd put him off for his first throw. That'll take his second. Just a 1-point game. This has been a fantastic game from a neutral point of view. No clear better team, no clear favorite once the whistle went. It's going to go down to the wire today, Mehki.
Yeah, it's all about who wants it bad enough. Do you want to see the Cinderella story of Keystone? Do they want to go all the way as the 10? They are the lowest seeded. Or is Brandywine going to try and keep writing history for themselves? Remember, the farthest, at least within the last 5 years, they've gotten is the semifinals of the PSWAC. So this is monumental in itself of being able to compete at this level. If they can continue to do that and win this game, it proves even more to the precedent it was the right decision to move up.
Yeah, and I feel like we can't stress that point enough. The PSWAC, while there are good teams and good players in there, it's not the NCAA. This is a step up. This is a jump. This is a quantum leap. And the fact that they're even here right now speaks volumes about the coach and the team.
It wasn't a leap of faith either. It was calculated, and they made the right choice because they are now playing D3 basketball at a high level, as that shot does not go their way, though.
Still on top by just one, as Jaden Golding receives from Amadrian Jones. Up against Warren. He'll travel. Well, the temperature is starting to increase as far as intensity is concerned in the gym, and I think the baseball team is a big part to play in that.
Look, at the end of the day, the number one thing that you can rely on is a loud home stadium, if there's anything else.
Sixth man.
It is the sixth man.
Man, if I had to come play in front of them, I would hate them so much. I can't lie.
I would hate playing on the road anytime, and it seems we didn't mention this at the start, which I'm surprised we didn't, but Keystone has not been fantastic on the road at all. At least compared to anybody. So they are, I believe, we're 2-8 or 2-9 entering the playoffs. They obviously won on the road last time out, but
Ayers misses what would have been a routine lay, and then a foul is spotted.
It's starting to get a little more physical over here.
Little guilty. Fourth foul of the half after about 4 minutes gone. Something that they have to definitely work on in the future is discipline, Mehki. They commit a lot of fouls, this Brandywine team, second most in the conference.
It's not a problem when it's spread out, but Little is not someone you can afford to lose. Being at 4 is not ideal, and there is a player on the ground off the shot.
Johnson commits his second foul, team's fifth. There's a whole lot of time left to already be on 5 fouls in half here.
I'd like to mention, too, the con, at least in defense of Keystone, the con about having such a loud home audience is sometimes it makes it hard to focus, hard to get back into the game when you're taken out of it by something like this. So Brandywine has to make sure that as much as they are thriving off of the energy, they don't let it override.
Golding right back on the stripe. I think it's his third trip in about 2 minutes of game time. He's got 17 points now, they're number one. Right on his average, right on the mark. Exactly, 17 points per game.
And you were talking at halftime about how this game in the second half could pick up in a way of a long game. So I couldn't even hold it back there. That was quite the scream. This could pick up and turn into a really long game, and it is seeming to do that because that was 2 minutes that felt like 7.
Brandywine trying to wrestle back the momentum and their lead. It's 43-42 in favor of the visiting team. Swider shifting inside, kicks it for Fogg. He'll step back. The big man takes the three, but it's short of the shot. That would have got the gym on their feet.
There would have been an eruption.
Yeah, roof would have came off this place. This team trusts each other, though. They score by committee. No clear favorite. Of course, Deuce does lead the way, but they all can do that, especially these 5 on the floor now. Arguably Burke's strongest 5. Little loses the ball. White picks it up.
Wow.
Bodies hit the floor.
Oh, my
corner
goodness.
3. Deuce.
Oh, that would have been so much aura.
That would have capped off an incredible play.
White had 2 players miss, passed it out, got it out to Holland, who has been efficient from 3 tonight, but that one not to be.
Back in comes Gadanya. Cries of shooter from the Keystone bench. They know the threat he poses. Inbounded. Gadanya. Short. Well, they've just not clicked as far as shooting is concerned the last couple possessions. Good defensive work from Holland, but couldn't keep the ball in play.
The one thing I like about that, though, is that they keep trying it. The one different, I mean, we've talked about this at length in both men's and women's games. Sometimes they keep taking threes. They haven't been hitting them all night. You kind of wonder, why are they taking the 3? This is a perfect example of why you keep taking the 3, though. Because at the start of this game, they were clicking them off. Gadanya has 2. Holland has 3. I believe Swider has 1 or 2 of his own as well. So it's not like that they haven't been hitting it all night. A bad patch will happen. It's about passing through it.
7 of 26 from downtown in the game as the ball's rebounded by Golding. Jones, elbow, miss. Rebounded by Deuce Holland. Down the floor comes Deuce, and on the turn, he will draw the foul.
This stretch of time has gone so long. We haven't had a media timeout, and a good chunk of time here.
I'm all right with that.
I'm not complaining.
That's his first trip to the stripe, Deuce, and that's a sign of a cold foul shooter. 11 points, 7 rebounds for Brandywine's leading scorer on the season, shooting 4 for 8 overall, but yet to make a free throw today. He'll tie it up with that made free. Excuse me.
Free 3?
Free 3.
I wish. While the game itself has slowed down, the scoring hasn't. That's the one thing that's most important here. You can't keep giving up possessions because eventually one of these teams is going to start playing defense.
Well, if you're joining us late, this is the United East Conference quarterfinal. Brandywine have a date, or whoever wins this, rather, have a date with Cairn in the semis, who just beat Abington to book that spot. Congratulations to the Highlanders. No doubt some of them are watching this game right now. And maybe they'll play Brandywine for the 3rd time this season, although they will hope to play Keystone, at least on paper, the underdog.
Especially being that would be in their own building.
Yeah. Oh, we spoke a lot about P.J. Murphy in the first half. He had a quiet couple minutes, but he's back and scoring. Ben Bass from Brandywine feeds his fellow transfer in Jack Swider. Deuce Holland steps into the lane and misses off the glass. Put back from Ben Bass. 3rd chance points, 4th chance points, 5th chance points. No score.
6th chance here. Oh, my goodness.
You just can't do that in the playoffs.
Wow.
You just can't.
There was, I think, 7 times that they got the ball there, and not a single bucket to go for it.
I mean, as funny as a moment that is in the playoffs, you can't do that.
No, that is what loses you games at the end of the day. I mean, it may not seem like it because there is another 11 minutes to play, but where that'll be costly is 3 minutes to go, and if you're trailing by 5, you're going to wonder, what if we had those 2 points?
And it's not just the points, it's the confidence. It's like, wow, we couldn't make 7th chance bucket there. We're in the playoffs. What's going on, guys?
I mean, I believe it was Bass there. He had the ball 3 or 4 times on his own. He just could not get to the rim. I don't know how many. I couldn't even tell how many defenders were exactly on him, but there was at least 3 bodies standing in the paint.
Well, these two teams have gotten together to play a lot, and it's all been recent history. Keystone are 2-1 against Penn State Brandywine by 253 to 230 combined points. Tonight, the 4th meeting in the last 400 days between these two teams. Overall for Brandywine, Little has played now 4 games with 3 starts against the Giants with 52 points, shooting 10 for 17 from downtown before this game began. For Keystone, Ayers places 4th against Penn State Brandywine. He's got 10 points, 11 rebounds, 9 steals, and 9 assists and 5 steals against the Lions. He does not have a great game against Penn State Brandywine historically. Last time these two played, Brandywine did win and Ayers was held scoreless. The active leader is Jaden Golding with 24 points, 8 for 15 shooting, 7 for 9 from the stripe, plus 8 boards. That's all this season.
A lot of numbers. There's only one fact that I do know for sure that will play effect in this game. It's a playoff game. The first of these two playing him.
Fogg, White, bucket. OTP goes Brandywine's way.
That's where White's been strong all season.
Murphy. Seems like he's got license to shoot from wherever he pleases today. Brandywine playing him, guarding him a little nervously. Mishandled by Thomas, and it's back with Little. Over the top, there's White.
I know White was thinking about that dunk at first. Thank God he got the second chance points. I know he ran up to the rim like he was going to take a dunk, thought better of it, missed his first shot before he took the second one.
Makes up for the mistake and puts Brandywine on top 2.
He scored the last 4.
Well, since the first 3 minutes or so of this game, there's been hardly 2 possessions between these two teams.
You know, Keystone, I mean, we mentioned it. Keystone at the very start of this game, they went up a lot. They were up about 10-2. But then Penn State Brandywine came right back. They were up 21-16 most notably. And ever since then, it's been neck and neck.
Well, Ayers took a blow to the chops and then was flagged for the foul. Insult to injury as he is subbed off.
That's never fun.
Well, Little in a firm discussion with his coaching staff here as he doesn't look too happy to be exiting the game at this stage. Haven't seen any sort of internal conflict for Brandywine all season, but if the wheels start to fall off of here, it's the worst possible time.
I will say, I understand the frustration, but I also understand the coaching decision. From Little, he has a lot of fouls on the night. You can't afford to lose him at this point in the game. But as a coach, you don't want, but for Little's frustration, I understand it. It's a playoff game. You're getting late. You want to be on the court.
And he's a senior. Could be his last game.
Could be.
Murphy will hope it's his last game. So will Jones. And Golding takes the 3 right in the face of Warren and misses. Rebounded by Fogg, and it's back on the attack for Amar Cadania. Deuce. Lane open for him. Normally he eats those. A lot of these buckets missed have been routine for Penn State Brandywine. Stolen by Warren. There's Deuce with the dunk.
And that'll go on the highlight reel. I mean, 2 guys fell over. There was 3 Brandywine players just huddled around him, and he takes the easy 2 dunk.
And there's that coaching decision to swap out Little for Warren. He assists off the steal as well. And there's another steal for Warren. Little's right back in the action, but Warren has had such a great season as far as generating extra possessions for Penn State Brandywine. Holds the single-season, single-game record in the conference for most steals in the contest with 6 against Berks. He is the defensive disruptor and possession generator on this team, and in conference play has expanded his scoring role to 7.8 points per game, up from 6.1 overall. He loves the big games, Mehki.
No, I was going to say, another notable thing, though, I just noticed real quick, is they put Swider on the court. They might be looking to go threes.
Nelson picks up the loose ball. It's back with Little here. Just a quick break for Brandywine's number 5. Tries to get open for a score for the first time today, but misses in the leg. Golding trying to guide it in. Closed down by 2 white shirts, being Warren and Nelson. And it's all the way back now with Jones. Brandywine with just a 2-point edge. Not comfortable by any stretch. There's the 3 from Scott. Can't quite knock it down. It's back with Warren. First to react. 2v1. Should have fed White there.
I don't hate that decision in the spur of the moment. Oh, that's a nasty fall.
Well, back to the missed opportunity there on the other end of the floor. Fogg and Ben Bass and Deuce and Coach Burke all look furious with Warren right now.
Look, I mean, I'm not a player, so maybe I am seeing this a little bit differently, but I will say, I don't hate it. He went right around the outside. I watched him. He only had 1 defender to beat. I couldn't quite see how close White was to just being completely open because I was so focused on Warren, but he had him beat. I mean, I don't think that was a terrible decision. 1-point lead is obviously not a comfortable one to play with, but you do have it.
I don't know, I think that's where we're going to disagree here, Mehki. I feel like in the playoffs you got to be unselfish there. And White scoring, what, at a 52% rate from the field?
He is.
He's the guy you want in that position.
He is efficient. I will say that, but I can't necessarily blame Warren, as I think is the way I should put it.
That's fair. On the stripe is Scott. And it'll be Tyler Ditton back in for Golding. Brandywine will have a brief break dealing with his offense. Ditton does provide them with a different dimension as far as a distance threat is concerned, though. Going to see Jeremiah Maxwell-Lawis for the first time tonight as well for Keystone. The first year checked in. These are important minutes. They trust him.
That is quite the long name, I will say. I just have to mention that. But, yeah, it is important to be on the court at this point in the game. You're under 8 minutes now, so it's crunch time. It's all about who can score and who's going to give you the best chance to win. And if they believe that he's one of those players, now is not a better time.
Swider tries for a step and is blocked on the vital moment of release. Brandywine retained possession, and that'll be the 8-minute media timeout. Mehki, we're going to take a quick break. Well, the eye test says that Brandywine have been squandering chances, and on the stat sheet, that is the story. Brandywine shooting just 33%, 7 for 27 from downtown, not like them at all, and Keystone have shot better all across the floor.
Got to hope that you didn't use all their shooting luck in the first half. As you see, they tried to go for it to there. That one got blocked.
Well, it may come down to ugly play like that for Penn State Brandywine as the big man buys the whistle.
We know they can win that way, though. That's the one positive for this team. They can win in a slugfest. I don't know if Keystone can.
Well, you really want Little on the stripe in these late game scenarios. Still got plenty of ball left to play. Hopefully, we won't need Little to close it from the stripe, but if there's a guy on the floor for either side, it is him.
nearly 90% from the line.
Yeah. Fogg puts a half century on the board there. The Lions on top by just the slim single point. They've had an answer for everything Brandywine have thrown their way, Keystone, and they've watched Brandywine miss a lot of routine shots too, as Murphy pulls up and misses one of his own.
I think the characteristic is that one. Oh wow! I stopped perfectly for that one to go through. But as the one main characteristic here is that Keystone's missed opportunities aren't missed because they get 6 chances at it. They're missed and then they go right the other way. Brandywine has had multiple opportunities on second, third, fourth chances to score, and they don't end up doing it. But that one's a foul.
Yeah, Warren manipulates that ball so crisply, he buys himself a trip to the stripe here. And he's a good shooter from the line as well. He's one of the top 3 in the team, 75%. And again, in the conference, he's even better.
Would in turn mean he makes one of these 2 at least.
That also puts Brandywine in the bonus as the commentators curse strikes.
I don't know, I've done that a lot this season. It finally caught up to me. I wasn't bad about that beforehand.
You'll notice you do that a whole lot more than you'd think. In general, everybody does.
Oh,
I just did it there, too.
I really jinxed him. Wow, that was bad.
You put the house on him making at least one, Mehki.
I apologize.
White makes up for it, though, as he often does.
White has such an ability at masking sometimes the flaws of this Brandywine team.
Extrapolate on that point, Mehki.
I just think I was just kind of waiting to see what they would do there. But I think what he really does is when he's given the ball on second opportunities, he's not the one to miss. While we talk about how accurate of a shooter he is, yes, he is, of course. We've hammered that point home. He does a really solid job at just keeping it calm in the paint. He doesn't do anything flashy. He doesn't do anything fancy. Obviously, given the opportunity, we've seen him dunk before. But he is just all about the basics when it comes to scoring those 2 points, and he does a fantastic job at it.
Brandywine put Keystone on the stripe for a missed shot by Scott. Here is Jabri White. Good pass into Deuce Holland, stretching the floor. Fogg is then fed, so too Swider. Big man looking for a big man play perhaps, but it'll feed Amari Little for 3. He'll miss. Just hasn't had his shot today, the lefty.
Yeah, no, Little has just had quite the... It's hard to say. You can't call it a bad game because at the end of the day, he has a lot of assists. He's been all over the court, and he's made an impact. It's just the points are just not there for him tonight. And I don't know about him, but if it was me, I would not want what potentially might be my last game to be pointless. No, not pointless in that way, but you get what I'm saying.
I know what you mean. Scoreless.
Yeah.
He's 0 for 8 right now. 5 assists, hasn't assisted anything in the second half. But he is a guy who, late in the game when it's tight, you got to keep him out there because of his foul throw ability. White misses the opportunity, rescues the rebound, and scores, making up for the mistake.
Evident right there. Proves it my point from a moment ago. He just takes the second chance, doesn't waste time, and he calms himself down before he takes the shot. Really allows him to score, too.
Ayers. Man, this one's going to come down to the wire. The nail beds on the home fans being damaged right now, Mehki.
I might want to have the ball last. I think that's going to be what it comes down to. Unless Brandywine can manage to take advantage of a possession or if Keystone gets on a run here, it's going to come down to who has the ball last.
Golding's back. Not a face you want to see from a Brandywine point of view. He's got 20 points to lead the game. Hasn't been great from the... Well, he has been great from the stripe. He's 6 for 9.
you were about to say something inaccurate there.
God forbid.
Commentator can't ever be wrong.
I feel like he has missed that first throw a couple times, though.
He has. I think he's made a lot of his second ones, but...
There's Deuce.
Holland doesn't miss that one. That's important. That's an important bucket. Puts him up 5.
Finally, some distance. And they'll miss. Brandywine having a good spell here. Swider. Deuce Holland. Not too sure he had the time he wanted there. Fogg powers it, but misses the reverse layup.
Swider had the opportunity to try and take it himself. He was selfless, and he passed that out to Holland.
Well, there's the juxtaposition. Maybe Warren should have been more selfless, and Swider should have been more selfish.
We'll never know, but the whistle blows. That's what we do know.
Time called by Keystone. Well, Keystone are led by head coach Justin Stern. It's his first season, and he's led them right to the playoffs. Has some experience, though, coaching at Cazenovia College, a D3 school that recently, unfortunately, for Stern and for the fans of Cazenovia, just closed down. He won 3 conference titles, making 3 NCAA tournament appearances, and he's got the second most wins in program history. Played his ball. He's a tall guy. Played for Onondaga Community College in upstate New York, as well as Keuka College. He was a conference champion at Onondaga and an NJCAA Player of the Week and All-Conference All-Star as well. It's an interesting matchup, though. They say, Mehki, styles make fights. Stern with an offensive-minded background. Coach Burke, of course, defensively minded. And they've come together for a great game.
Yeah, I mean, clashing styles has kind of been the key of this game, right? I mean, it's been in a funny way. I feel like it's been the opposites, though. Like, in the first half, it was a bit of Brandywine's defense, and it was a bit of the offense from Keystone. It feels like we flipped the script a bit here. Brandywine's offense, while it's had a lot of misses, has been kind of the driving force keeping them afloat and in the lead at that. Keystone's defense has been able to force those mistakes, force those problems for Brandywine. So I feel like the script has flipped in the second half.
Playoff basketball summed up for you right there. You never know. You just never know. Here are the Lions, though. Through Little. Still looking to open his scoring account. Only player on the floor right now without a bucket for both teams. Deuce Holland. Well, he was so hot from downtown in the first, but he's been cold in the second.
That eventually means you're going to make one. He's just going to keep shooting them, and he's not afraid of it.
Oh, he spoke to him post-game earlier in the season. He said even when a shot gets cold, he trusts his ability and keeps going back to the well. Here he is on the ball, kept alive by the big man, Fogg. There's Jabri White. Is he going to bang it? He'll bang it!
I knew that was coming. I saw the opportunity. The poster was right there, and he's going to take the 2 as the crowd erupts on our sideline.
That could be a game-defining, season-defining moment.
Keystone's trying to capitalize there.
That gets the baseball team loud. Cries of defense, louder than the bench. Murphy misses, and Deuce rebounds.
Ooh.
Dirty play from Keystone there.
I don't believe he had the feet planted there, so.
Back to the media timeout.
The last one.
Yeah, 3 minutes, 55 left on the clock. Brandywine has the momentum. They have their largest lead of the game, and they've got the fans on side. We'll be right back. We're back here. Teams return, and it's Deuce Holland on the stripe.
He has the opportunity here. I mean, this game's already 7 points away. I mean, it was close. It's not like it's not a close game. They're playing tight, but Brandywine has capitalized and scored a couple more buckets, and next thing you know, they have the chance to try and get up about 8 or 9 points here.
Yeah, largest lead they've held all game. Both teams with 2 timeouts apiece, which tells you what Burke may be thinking about the remainder of this one. Normally, he's only got 1 left at this stage.
I was going to say, I have a gut feeling that this one might go down to 4 timeouts.
In the playoffs, you can't blame either team. You really can't. I'm hungry, though.
I'm hungry, too.
I'm hoping that maybe just 2.
Yeah, well, let's hope my food arrives a little bit after the game.
60 points reached by Penn State Brandywine in the playoffs in the D3 era for the first time. It's a game of many firsts. Murphy. It's a beautiful shot. I mean, how do you score that over 6'7" Jack Swider?
I don't know what Murphy ate before this game, but it must have been really good food because he has been electric tonight.
Arrives on 18 points. Matches Brandywine's high score, which is Deuce Holland. He's got 18, of course. But again, it's a team that scores by committee rather than relying on an individual star. Little. Pumped it and steps back. 3 seconds. Little. Blocked at the vital moment of release by Jones.
It's going to have to be a touch and shoot here, I believe.
Yeah, they've got just 1 second to inbound and insert the basketball.
I assume they're giving it to Holland. No? So this will go the other direction. So I'm curious, Hunter. I'm going to ask you a question here. 3 minutes left on the clock. You're up 6. If you're Brandywine, are you more on the defensive side? I mean, that's how your team is coached anyway, or are you still trying to hammer home points?
I think you've got to score more points.
You think so?
I think if the first portion of this game is anything to say about the remaining 3 minutes, it's that Keystone are fully capable of scoring against the top defense in the conference. You've got to put the foot to the floor at this stage.
They're capable. White's got 16.
Touch and shoot. Murphy from the wing misses. Sorry to cut you off there, Mehki.
Go ahead. I was just going to say Holland has 18, so they've got scores.
There he is, Deuce Holland. Pulls up for 3 and misses off the banker. Then runs into Amari Little, and the ball's back with the Blues.
Sure they'll laugh about that one later.
Hopefully they have something to laugh about after this game.
Hopefully.
Golding trying to put the team on his back, and he will win the whistle. That guy is very, very good.
He is. You wouldn't know it if we just didn't tell you this, but he's got 20 on the night. It doesn't feel like it. I feel like he had a lot of points in the very start of this half, but he is up to 20. He's only got 1 foul as well.
Yeah, and he's really risen to the occasion in the second half. Just 6 points in the first frame. Baseball team trying to put him off. Not too sure what they're doing over there, but they're doing something.
You ready for it?
Now would be the time to be loud. They mistimed it there.
Wow, that was poorly timed. Wow.
Timing not their strong suit.
Yeah. Which is funny. Baseball players. All about timing.
Scott checks in on for Camden Ayers. Lots of players featuring tonight could be playing their final minutes at the college level. Ayers included, the lone senior on this Keystone side. Could be the last 2.5 of his college basketball career. It's bittersweet.
2.5 minutes.
5-point difference. Ball in the hands of the playmaker, Amari Little. Now with the sniper, Amar Gadanya. Right back to Little. Lane open for him.
He thought about it. There he goes.
There we go. He gets off the mark.
If it was to be his last game, he's not going to have no score.
Took him 38 minutes, but he comes up with the goods. Very much the string puller tonight, rather than the star scorer, as Murphy is short of the 3-point opportunity. Oh, that guy has no fear. He's willing to take that shot anywhere.
I will say, in his defense on that one especially, trailing 7, a 3 would be big, because that swings the momentum with 2 minutes left, and you're only then trailing by 4. 5? 4. 5. I was right the second time.
There's the 2-minute mark. Could be in for a big finish. And the big finishers are out there on the floor. Little heating up.
And that one is going to start to try and get the crowd on their feet. As you can see it, with only a minute 45 to go and a timeout called, it's now a 10-point game.
What a time to come alive from a Little point of view. Scoreless until 38 minutes, and now he's got 5 in about 14 seconds. We'll be right back. Well, out of the timeout, you saw Stern there with a pretty aggressive discussion with the officiating crew. He's not happy about something. I'm not too sure what he's not happy about, but he is upset.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's a playoff game. There's a lot on the line, especially for both teams. It's not just one side or the other. It is all about trying to go to a semifinal to compete for a championship.
Murphy misses. 0 for 3 in his last three-pointers.
And that's kind of been what's killed them. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it's not because of Murphy, but they've relied on him a lot this game to score when they haven't had Golden to score. So him not scoring those threes is kind of the reason that they're trailing by 10.
Little leaving Murphy there for dead during that play. Inside then for White, who is blocked. Big moment there from Demetrius Thomas, who's been quiet on offense, but steady on defense. Jones drives, muscles, and scores.
This is going to turn into a game of fouls real quick. They are down by 8 with only 57 seconds left, and you need the ball back. And something...
Oh, Burke is upset. The fans are happy, and Stern looking frustrated. Just some little moments of drama in this game. Timeout called by Keystone. They're out of timeouts, too. No, never mind. They've got one. Brandywine have one. I was wrong on that. We'll be right back. Well, we know just about what Stern was upset about. The clock continued to tick down after time was called or something like that. He wasn't happy. He's fighting for every second, and you can't blame him. If you're a Keystone fan, that's what you're doing at home, too. There's Warren on the drive.
Warren has 3 defenders chasing him.
And then Burke calls time. That's his last timeout. He's always going to use them. If you know one thing, you know Coach Burke's getting through all his timeouts, regardless of whether or not it's 5, 6, or even 4. We'll be right back. Teams retake the floor with 53.5 on the clock. In the quarters, Brandywine lead. White, Swider. Burke literally throws his clipboard across the floor in frustration.
It's ill-advised, to say the least.
Oh, that's literally the worst case scenario from a Brandywine point of view.
allow the bucket, and now they're going to get an extra trip to the line. And that lead that was 8 might go to 5.
That clipboard taking a beating tonight.
Look, if I was a coach, I'd be just as frustrated. That was, I will say, there is not a defense of that. That was a pretty rough pass. I see where he was looking, but just did not hit the mark.
Shot missed. Assist to the baseball team. They've got time here, Brandywine. Gadania will lay it in, and that may seal the deal. 34 seconds. Guest in the double bonus, too. Brandywine going to have to play some smart basketball for the final 30, and that'll help. Oh, no, never mind. It's Keystone's ball.
I was going to say Keystone might want to try and get a shot off here before they hit under the shot clock so that way they force a shot out of Brandywine, but...
Well, we weren't so sure they were going to lose this game, at least on paper, but it's been a lot more difficult than I was expecting.
Look, I will say, if there's anything about Brandywine we haven't maybe talked about in this game, it's that they play to their opponents. Oh, that was an aggressive play on defense there by Brian Warren. But they play to their opponents. They are not afraid of playing their game. Sometimes it's to their detriment. Sometimes they'll play down. Sometimes they'll play up. But Brandywine is not afraid of playing the same style, playing their game. They'll do basically whatever it takes to win, and that's what Coach Brick has led them to do. And they have played, obviously, fantastic. They, assuming they can win this, will have been 8 in a row.
History. Golding makes it.
History on multiple fronts.
Yeah, it's nothing but history from, well, not even from this game, from last game
From
forward.
last game, here on out, basically.
Well, for a team that never won the P-SWAC, this is uncharted territory at the next level, that's for sure, and they may be semifinalists in 20 seconds. Cairn await them. It's not an easy game. Cairn are a top team, but Brandywine will have home court advantage, and they earned it as the 2 seed.
And with only 17 seconds, it would be quite the miracle. I have seen it in basketball, but it would be quite the miracle.
I haven't seen it here in the Lions Den.
Not here.
Sure.
Not here, but trying to give any last hope for those Keystone fans. But I don't believe Nelson has scored on the night.
Well, you'll feel for
he does. Sorry.
No, you're good, Mehki. You'll feel for the Keystone fans, though, because they were wire to wire with Brandywine until about the 7-minute mark. Then Brandywine erupted through Little. He really led the charge, and here we are, 7 points up. Nelson misses the free throw. Pull up 3. Nah.
That would have been a tide-changing shot if that had went through. That actually probably would have given them one last chance, but not to be.
Yeah, that would have been terrifying. Hearts and mouths moments there for the Brandywine faithful, that's for sure.
I told you, I've seen some things.
Oh, it's knocked down by Murphy right in front of the baseball team. Late drama, maybe too late. 7 seconds.
Need a quick foul. There they go.
Well, what are they going to do with this stage, Keystone? Their postseason hopes slipping away.
It would take a three-pointer and a foul off of no made shots from the free throw line here to tie the game.
I mean, it's unlikely, but it's possible.
There's the scenario. I'm just painting the picture for everybody. That is exactly how this happens. That's what their strategy is. But they need, for starters, a miss. They don't get it.
They don't get it. That's a big foul throw. That might be the biggest throw the young rookie has made in his entire career.
For him, he'll be back next year. So it's not a matter of playing another game. But as he sinks both of them, that'll put this game on ice effectively.
Last chance. Take something with you. Slapped away by Swider, and that's the last touch of the ball. Penn State Brandywine win in the quarters, and they book their spot to the semis against the Cairn Highlanders. Mehki, what a game that was. Closing thoughts.
I just want to say Brandywine has a lot to celebrate tonight, a lot of history made, but they still got more they can make. As you can hear the na-na-na chants from the crowd. A lot of history made, still more to make. They can still do it. There's a path to the finals for them.
Well, Penn State Brandywine will be back in action in the semis. I believe that's Tuesday night. That's against Cairn. That's here in the Lions Den. Make sure you're here. If you can't be here, then watch it on the ball. We'll be live for that, Mehki. But until then, this has been Hunter Strafacci alongside Mehki Winfrey and Jason Ladley, of course, manning the camera. We will see you guys in the next one.